Guys, I think we broke the game. We have Raid Han, Stormtrooper Han, Captain Han Solo, Veteran Smuggler Han, and now Young Han Solo. We need a filter. The Han filter. Hey everyone, Nukin here and welcome back to the channel. I'm back with another Galaxy of Heroes video and I wanted to quickly whip something up for you guys. We had a content update, so I'll be covering a little bit about the news and then we'll move on to looking and checking out the two newest scoundrels. We have a Vandor Chewbacca and then we also have a young Han Solo. So yeah, we have 5 Hans, and so unleash the memes. Now we have 5 Hans and we can make all sorts of funny memes like this. This was shared to me by my friend Grande. I think Maha, M-A-G-A, might have made this, but I'm not sure. Anyways, it's pretty funny, and thanks to Droids for making the Han filter photo. So that was cool as well. So if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and now let's start talking about some of the news and also the new scoundrels. So starting with the important news real fast, we have the Ability Materials Pack returning once again. We just had it recently, so it's interesting that it is here already. Usually we get this about once a month or once every 2 months. So this is the Ability Material Pack that gives you Omegas that we all desperately need. Some of us need Omegas more than we actually need Zetas. So that's coming on May the 17th and it will be here for a few days. Usually it's about, I think, 1600 or 1700 crystals. Now onto the shard shuffle. We have a new character that is now grindable or farmable. The Sith Marauder is entering the Cantina on Cantina node 6E. He's going to be replacing Jedi Counselor, not Jedi Counselor, guys. It's Counselor. So that's very cool. Sith Marauder is an interesting character. Not sure if it's really a character that you need to be farming immediately, but it's nice that he's finally farmable for people that want to collect him. And now onto the last piece of news, which I believe is the most important piece. We have new faction bonuses coming to Territory Wars. So up until now, the First Order and the Resistance had a faction bonus, but now we have 2 new factions that are gaining a bonus in Territory Wars. So first off, I just want to clarify one thing. The First Order and Resistance bonuses, they're not going away, they're staying put. But on top of that, we have these 2 new faction bonuses, one for the Bounty Hunters and one for the Scoundrels. So the Scoundrels were just recently reworked, so on top of the rework and this new faction bonus called Wet Work, which I'm not sure what that means. Maybe it's something to do with the lore that I'm missing, but basically whenever a bounty hunter scores a critical hit, they're going to dispel all debuffs on themselves, so they're going to cleanse themselves. They're also going to gain 15% critical damage stacking for the rest of the battle. So that's similar to the Sith Raid bonus where they're getting critical damage stacking, only they're getting it a different way. And now moving on to the Scoundrel faction bonus, it's called a Step Ahead, and so Scoundrels are going to have 20% critical chance as long as they have protection. And so the new Han, the young Han Solo, and the Vandor Chewbacca, they are Scoundrels, and there are already Scoundrels in the game, so all Scoundrels are going to have 20% critical chance as long as they have protection. So not as impressive as some of the other faction bonuses, but it definitely makes them a little bit better. Okay, so we just covered a little bit of news, so now let's get into the kit reveal portion of the video. I will be covering the kits for young Han Solo and Vandor Chewbacca, the 2 newest Scoundrels entering the game. And so young Han Solo makes the 5th Han to enter the game, so now we can finally, if you want to, put 5 Hans on one team, and people are calling it all Hans on deck. I have my own name for it, but I don't think I'm allowed to share it on YouTube, but you can use your imagination. So young Han Solo is a light side scoundrel attacker, and so he is a scoundrel attacker who becomes more deadly with time. He has a basic ability 2 specials and a unique, and he has 1 Zeta. Both of these characters, both young Han Solo and the Vandor Chewbacca, will be coming to you on the 17th of May as marquee event characters. Now let's start covering his kit, starting with his Zeta ability, his unique Ready for Anything. So whenever young Han Solo is going to start his turn, he's going to gain stacking, 10% offense, and 10% critical chance if he starts his turn with protection up. Now the Zeta portion is in bold, and it reads, while prepared, Han has 70% chance to assist another scoundrel ally's attack during their turn. So he's kind of similar to Dengar and Echo, the clone trooper. Dengar's the bounty hunter, where he is assisting quite often when his faction is doing something. Now on to his basic, it's called Trick Shot, and so he deals physical damage to the target and inflicts speed down for 2 turns, the debuff. Han also becomes prepared if the target is below 50% turn meter. Now prepared is a new mechanic, and I'll explain that a little bit later on in the video. Han's first special is called Upper Hand. It has a cooldown of 2, and he gains protection up and he gains retribution for 2 turns, and on top of that he gains 50 flat speed, and that stacks up to 200 times for the rest of the encounter. So after using this 4 times, he's going to have plus 200 speed from just this ability, and then when you add up his mods, man, you could get this guy to like 400 speed or something. Han's second special is called Just in Time. It has a cooldown of 3, and now I think is a good time to talk about what is preparation or prepared. So when characters like Vandor Chewbacca and Han Solo, young Han Solo, are prepared, they have added bonus effects, and so we were talking about it, and I think one of the game changers talked about it being sort of like a light switch, kind of like an on-off type of thing. It kind of reminds me of Commander Luke. He has a sort of an offense mode and a defense mode with the call to action buff, and that's something kind of similar here. I also believe that you cannot dispel preparation or prepared, so it's not like it can go away. The only way that it can expire is if you're using some of these abilities here. So on the prepared portion of this ability, it reads target other ally becomes prepared, so he can give preparation to another ally, but then in giving preparation you're also losing it, so Han is no longer prepared, and so then all prepared allies are going to gain critical damage up for 1 turn. That's good. Han's going to recover protection equal to 50% of the damage dealt. Also, the other target other ally is going to recover protection equal to 50% of the damage dealt. And we're going to look at Chewbacca. You'll see that I think when he reaches full protection, he also gains preparation, so there's extra kind of hidden synergy here as well. So kind of a complicated ability mechanic. I wish I had more than the gifts here to showcase to you, but I probably will have a video with me messing around on them on the dev account probably fairly soon. Okay, so we went over young Han Solo's kit, and now it's time to go over Vandor Chewbacca. Vandor Chewbacca is a light side scoundrel tank. So Han Solo was an attacker, he is a tank here, and then he's an aggressive scoundrel tank that provides protection recovery for his allies when they are attacked. He has a basic attack, 1 special, and 2 uniques. So let's go over his uniques, one of which has a Zeta, and then we'll go over his Vandor other abilities. Chewbacca's first unique is called the Beast. Now, Vandor Chewbacca has 40% less max protection, but 80% more max health. That synergizes with his kit actually, and having more health is going to be beneficial for him. On top of that, all enemies deal 25% less damage while Chewbacca is buffed. That's a huge damage reduction, by the way, so it's actually beneficial to keep this guy buffed at all times. Vandor Chewbacca's second unique is called Ferocious Protector. Now this is the unique with the Zeta. The unique Zeta portion is bold-faced here for you. Now while Chewbacca is buffed, he has 100% counter chance, so you want to keep him buffed for the damage reduction, you want to keep him buffed for the counter chance here. At the end of each turn while Chewbacca is buffed, if any other ally took damage from an attack and Chewbacca did not, Chewbacca recovers protection equal to 10% of his max health. On top of Chewbacca recovering protection, all other scoundrel allies are going to recover half of that amount, and when Chewbacca recovers to max protection, he becomes prepared. So that is how Chewbacca can give himself preparation. Now here's the Zeta portion. When another light side scoundrel ally is defeated, if Chewbacca is prepared, revive that ally at 60% health, but then Chewbacca loses preparation. Now keep in mind, this is only light side scoundrels and not all scoundrels. So now on to his basic, which is called Unchained. It deals physical damage to the target enemy, and if it's Chewbacca's turn, he also gains advantage for 2 turns. This attack ignores defense, so very good against tanky enemies. And then lastly, we have one last ability to cover. It is called Freedom Fighter. It's his only special, has a cooldown of 4. It deals physical damage to the target enemy twice. Now the attack does damage based off Chewbacca's max health instead of his attack damage, so it should hit pretty hard since he has a lot of HP. And on top of that, target other ally recovers health equal to 50% of the damage dealt, and Chewbacca and that other target ally are also going to get protection up 30% for 2 turns. So we just went over the kits for both of the characters, young Han Solo and Vandor Chewbacca, and talked a little bit about the news. So I think there's enough time to quickly go over the Zeta Priority, and then we'll wrap up the video. So if you were going to Zeta both of these characters, or you were going to only do one, for example, I think this is the priority for their Zetas. Now this may change when I get to quickly mess around with them on the dev account, which I have not yet, and that might change things, but I think this is how it's going to be. So I think you're going to do Ready for Anything, that is young Han Solo's Zeta first, and then go and do Vandor Chewbacca's Ferocious Protector. Now I have some reasoning here, so this is my thought process. So the Zeta on young Han Solo allows him to assist 70% chance of the time, I believe, from any scoundrel, so light side and dark side. It's a more proactive Zeta, and the mechanic has been shown to work. There are characters like Echo from the Clone Troopers and Dengar with the rework from the Bounty Hunters. This is a good mechanic that has worked in the past, so I can see it also working here. Now Ferocious Protector is good. It allows you to revive a scoundrel, I think up to about 60% HP. That's a little bit on the low side, but it's only light side scoundrels. So there are a bunch of dark side scoundrels that are also quite good. A lot of the bounty hunters I think are dark side, and so he cannot revive those guys. On top of that, he's bottlenecked by reviving one scoundrel at a time. He can't revive multiple, and he needs to regain preparation before he can revive another scoundrel. Now it's not terribly too hard to gain preparation, but I think, you know, for a ability to revive a specific light side scoundrel at basically only half HP, and you can only go one at a time, I feel like it's a little bit on the lackluster side. It's not terrible, but I think the Ready for Anything Zeta is a little bit better. So that's my subjective opinion on the Zeta Priority, and again, it might change if I can, you know, mess around with it and I see that maybe there's value in Ferocious Protector potentially over the other Zeta. And that kind of wraps up the end of the video. So we covered the kits of the new scoundrels, and I'm bringing back this meme a second time. I really like this meme, and I wish I knew who created it because I would like to give him some credit. So if you know the original creator, if it's a him or her, let me know in the comments below so I can give them some credit. And on top of that, while you're in the comment section, let me know if you think there's any potential with these new scoundrels. Do you see any potential in Territory Wars and the raids and arena, etc.? I'll probably be making another video showcasing some gameplay with me messing around with them on the dev account, and if you want to see something in particular, I could try to make it happen. Alright, so we covered the news, we covered the kits, we talked about Zeta Priority, so that's it guys. I will all see you guys in the next video. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and until next time, cheers. Like Randy, the number go ice for granted. This nigga pull up your bandit.
Kids understand.